busy.
Bit weird though, isn't it? He's not that busy. He's posting online an awful lot. Why is he not welcomed Robert Jenrick joining?
I would suggest you've got an overactive research team who really should have better things to do.
Well, Richard Tice humiliates a BBC host live as Matt Chorley tries to corner him with gotcha questions on tweets and infighting. Look, when the interview chases ex-gossip, voters pay in taxes and lost trust. Tice swats it away, pivots to borders and bills, and calls the producer hunt an overactive research team exposed, with panic meeting pressure instead of truth. But here's the twist, it will leave you gobsmacked once you clock what he teases for early next week. Chorley pushes for clues, whilst Tice cites over 4 million voters reportedly being denied elections. If this is democracy, why is the BBC stuck on gossip?
Who knows about these things behind the scenes? Early this evening, I spoke to the Reform UK's deputy leader, Richard Tice. I began by asking him, did Robert Jenrick jump or was he pushed?
In terms of the journey, he was pretty much there, as I understand. It's obviously a very difficult thing when you've been in a party, of any party, since the age of 16 for a number of decades. So it's a big decision, but it's welcome. He's done the right thing. It's only Reform that can take on and beat Labour at the next general election.
It's another Conservative in Reform UK ranks. Has everyone in the party welcomed his arrival?
Yes, very much so. People who believe in our principles and values from any party or no party, people understand that he has a strong support base and that he is considered strong on issues that we fundamentally believe in, around stopping the boats, about controlling immigration, about scrapping net stupid zero, about safer streets, law and order, and about how to get the public finances under control so that we can make people better off.
You say everyone's welcomed it. Azir Youssef, the head of policy for Reform UK, welcomes it. He's been posting online an awful lot in the last 24 hours. He's posted nothing about Robert Jenrick that I could see. He did post when Nadeem Zahawi joined earlier this week. They've obviously had a high-profile spat in the past. He wasn't at the big unveiling of Robert Jenrick. Is there some tension there?
Look, we're a team, we're united under Nigel's leadership, and look, we're all busy.
Bit weird though, isn't it? He's not that busy. He's posting online an awful lot. Why is he not welcomed Robert Jenrick joining?
I would suggest you've got an overactive research team who really should have better things to do.
Well, I looked at it actually myself, Richard.
Look, at the end of the day, we're focused on policies, on how to continue to lead in the polls, and our campaign strategy for the May elections, where we're allowed to have them, because of course Labour are frit, they're running scared, they're cancelling elections up and down the country. Over 4 million people, it looks like, are going to be denied. Oh, and by the way, including some Conservative councils as well, who are also running scared of Reform.
You couldn't be more delighted about welcoming in someone who your own leader said was a fraud, said don't believe a word he says. You said Robert Jenrick doesn't get it. Robert Jenrick said, I want to put Reform out of business. I want to send Nigel Farage back to retirement.
Look, the reality is we believe in the same principles and values. Of course, it's a competitive world in the world of policy. Actually, competition is a good thing. We believe in competition. It makes everybody perform better. And yes, sometimes there's a bit of rough and tumble between parties. Look, that's the nature of it. But fundamentally, we believe in the same principles and values. We debate policy. We come to what we think are the right decisions. We put those to the people. And guess what? We're leading in some 200 national polls by give or take 9 or 10%. We must be doing something right.
That section is the real test, isn't it? The presenter basically says you're bringing in the people responsible for the failures since 2019. That's a fair line of attack, and it's the sort of question the public deserves to hear explored properly. Tice's reply leans hard on one idea, experience, learning, and the claim that Robert Jenrick resigned on a matter of principle. You can agree or disagree, but it's at least an argument about actions and outcomes, not a schoolyard spat about who tweeted what. Here's what I take from it. Reform wants to look like a government in waiting, big membership, leading in, polls, and a strong team. The BBC wants to frame it as hypocrisy and opportunism. That conflict matters because it's the same fight you see everywhere, outsiders trying to break into a closed shop and the establishment trying to discredit them as unserious or dodgy. And for everyday people, the question is simple. If you're worried about immigration, crime, taxes, and whether public services are being managed competently, you don't get to dodge hard questions. You also don't get to let the media dodge them either. The interview should press on results, numbers, timelines, what actually changes, rather than looping back to online gossip the second the answer gets uncomfortable. All right, last stretch. There's a moment near the end where the presenter tries to corner him again, and you also hear the broader commentary about what the BBC class is really obsessed with. Listen carefully to the phrasing, because it gives away what they think politics is for.
What you've done in the last few months is invite in some of the people most responsible for the Conservative governments since 2019, starting with Boris Johnson and onwards.
We haven't invited
Robert
Boris
Jenrick
Johnson
was in the
clear.
Treasury under Theresa May. He was at housing under Boris Johnson. He was at health under Liz Truss. He was immigration on Rishi Sunak. You've got Nadine Zahawi, who was at Treasury, Education, COVID in business. Nadine Dorries was at culture. David Jones was at Wales. Andrea Jenkins was in the Whip's office in education.
And do you know what that does?
Jake Berry was at community and local government. Almost every single department that you think has failed since 2019, you've brought the people responsible into Reform UK.
Robert Jenrick is the only cabinet minister who resigned on a matter of principle from the Conservative government. That makes him uniquely qualified to explain where things went so badly wrong on both legal and illegal immigration, which is to the fury of tens of millions of British people. And sure, what the list you've just read out there shows the whole point about experience. And yes, people make mistakes, and they learn from that, they put their hands up, they say, I got this right, I got this wrong, we've learned from what we've got wrong, and we won't do it again.
But what is it about Robert Jenrick? He saw huge, while he was immigration minister, Robert Jenrick, when he was immigration minister, saw huge rises in people coming in small boats.
And he resigned as immigration minister. So the whole point.
Because he threw up his hands in the air and said, I can't do anything about it. So why do you think, that's just the man for the job? He oversaw a mess and then he walked away from it. Why do you think that that's the sort of man that you want in your team?
Doesn't that show integrity and principle that actually he left?
Well, no, it shows that he can't do anything about a massive problem.
He realised that his bosses and his colleagues in cabinet were not prepared to do what needed to be done, which is what the British people voted for. I think that shows actually strength and principle. And look, at the end of the day, we've got the situation as we have. We've got a growing team. We've got, I think we're almost the largest, or are the largest party in terms of members, and we are by far and away the largest party in the polls. That shows people want us to lead the next government, but of course they need a strong team, and Robert is a very welcome asset to that strong team.
More to come? Has your phone been ringing off the hook in the last 24 hours?
I'm not going to give a running commentary on my phone calls, but my phone's always busy.
We're told to expect a major Labour figure next week. Is that right?
Well, you'll have to be patient, wait and see. But yes, there will be a significant event early next week.
Is it a Labour MP, though? Because that's the big prize for you, isn't it? To show that Reform UK isn't just a retirement home.
Patience is a virtue. You can look forward to it all weekend. Patience is a virtue.
But if it's not an MP, doesn't that just reinforce the criticism of your opponents? I'm not going to give you any more
clues, cunning tips, apart from that. Just look forward to next week.
Richard Tice, Deputy Leader of Reform UK. Thanks for joining us on Newsnight tonight.
Thank you.
That tells you the whole mood. The presenter is poking for a big prize headline and a bit of theatre, and Tice plays it coy. Patience is a virtue because he knows the media wants the scoop more than the substance. Then comes the brutal observation, the focus on tweets and internal spats. Whether you're in Britain or the States, that's how trust gets burned down. People feel talked down to. They feel managed. They feel like the commentator class lives in a different country from the one everyone else lives in. So here's my bottom line. If the BBC wants to challenge reform, fine, do it properly, on policy, on competence, on what they do with the border, policing, taxes, and energy. If reform wants to be taken seriously, they should welcome the scrutiny and answer with specifics, not just slogans. Because a nation can't be run on gotchas and gossip, and it shouldn't be run by people who think voters are daft. Britain needs honest arguments, real scrutiny, and leaders who put the public first. Same goes for America. And the more the establishment media plays games, the more people will look for anyone who won't take the mick.